Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Curdy, and I just want to welcome you all to um, our 1212 Healing from Within virtual event. I'm in this space of calm right now, just as we're starting this day, and I'm getting ready to introduce Greta to you. I really, for this lineup, can't think of a better person to open the day for us. I'm just so grateful that you said yes, Greta. And I I don't know, the energy for me is really, as Nicole and Jacqueline and I discussed, putting this event together, it is definitely from a place that's very quiet and from within, and needing self-care and tips and tools on how to bring more to our daily practice. So I am going to turn everything over to you again. Just beautiful heart gratitude going out to you for hosting and facilitating our first session for the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Curdy. Thank you so much. I am so happy to be here and totally honored to be part of this and opening the day. I'm really excited and happy. My name is Greta. I am in Spokane Valley, and I'm a yoga instructor here. I've been offering some private classes out of Jennifer and Jacqueline's healing boutique here in the Valley, and that's been really special to be able to share that space and offer some healing tools. So I would like to say thank you so much to Jacqueline, Curdy, and Nicole for all of your work and for orchestrating this super beautiful space. Bringing everyone together. Your time and your energy and love are recognized and so appreciated. So thank you for that. And I would also like to say thank you to all of you who have joined together virtually this morning. I'm really excited to be here with you, and so happy that you all decided to join in on this day of healing from within, nurturing yourselves, and just really showing up in that place of personal care. So as we nurture ourselves, we have the ability to then nurture other people, to reach out and to love on them from a more wholesome and whole place. So this morning, I will be focusing in on kind of what a daily self-care practice might look like for you, or what it looks like for me, and giving you some options for how to build your daily self-care routine. So kind of new to this kind of thing. I've never really done this before. So totally not scripted. I guess I would say for me personally, I like to set aside a period of time each day, or as many days as I can, to just kind of tune into what my heart, my mind, my body need. So I like to begin that by kind of opening the space. And for me, that looks like lighting a candle, lighting an incense stick, making a cup of tea. So if you would like to take a minute and grab a candle or grab your incense or your sage or something to just kind of like some sensory thing to be like, okay, this is the space that we're coming into now. I invite you to do that now. I'm going to light my incense and my candle. And if you want to grab a journal or a blanket, you're welcome to do that. If you want to write down any thoughts or just have something to be cozy as we move into our physical practice, as we move into our asanas. And I like to think of the candle as I light it as kind of like the symbol of my inner warmth, like the fire within, that place of life and light that I am igniting as I'm coming into this space to care for myself. I've got my Palo Santo, maybe prefer sage, whatever it is. It's kind of taking a moment to create the space. So now I almost have like, since I've been doing this with my incense, it usually burns for like a half hour to an hour. And so it's kind of like the time that my incense stick is burning is like my little hourglass, you know. So that's been one really nice thing. And then also when I smell Namchamba, which is the incense that I use, I just kind of almost come right back to that place of like, okay, what does my body need? What does my heart need? Where am I at this morning or this afternoon or this evening, whatever it is. So maybe you want to grab some essential oils, put those on. Just kind of whatever is calling to you, whatever you want to do to make this space cozy and comfortable and your own. I like to have my crystals handy and of course a glass of water. So once you have opened your space, we'll give you just a minute to finish up there, and then we'll begin. I like Christmas lights too. Christmas lights are a big thing for me all year round. For just kind of creating like a really cozy, just a really cozy and warm and welcoming environment. Sometimes I'll shut all the other lights off and just be in the comfort of the Christmas lights. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. We will start the physical portion of our practice today in child's pose. So for child's pose, we're bringing the big toes to touch, and then you can bring your knees together or out wide. From here, walk your forehead down, hands out, place your forehead on the mat. So we're in this gently elongated position. Just kind of letting the hips sink down toward the heels. And we're not activating through our bodies at all. We're just letting ourselves be. If you do have your knees together, you have the option to wrap your hands down for your feet. So once you've found your child's pose, I invite you to connect with your breath. I like to breathe in and out through my nostrils. And as we're coming into this space, just really beginning to slow things down. The slower we go, the more we notice. I am feeling very excited right now, so I'm having to remind myself to bring things down a notch, to really intentionally slow my breath, slow my heart rate. So just breathe in through the nostrils, all the way into your chest, in through your low belly. Feel your belly expand. And then as you exhale, kind of push out from your low abdomen. Feel your body settle onto your mat as you exhale. And take another breath in through the nostrils. Longer and slower than the first. This time breathing into your rib cage, into the back side of your body, feeling that expand like a balloon. And exhale, feel it contract. The low back relaxes, releases. And we breathe out through the nostril. So go ahead and do this a few more times, just establishing this connection with your breath, and then find a steady pace that you can hold or sustain throughout the course of your practice today. Something that's comfortable, not too much effort, but still intentional. And then, speaking of intentions, if you would like to set an intention for your practice, I invite you to do so now. So this could be something super simple like I am safe, I am healthy, Or maybe I am nurturing my soul. I am nurturing my body. Whatever your reason is for coming onto your mat today, and of course this may change from day to day, but whatever your reason is, just repeating that in your mind, affirming that. As you breathe in, I like to repeat it 3 times in my mind with each breath. Beautiful. Right, and after this last repeat, last breath, I'll invite you to rise up onto your fingertips. Rise up onto your fingertips and walk your hands over to the right corner of your mat, or the right side of your mat. So your hips are still on your heels, forehead is still resting on the ground. Maybe once you're there, you cross your left hand on top of your right. Take about 3 rounds of breath here. Again, feeling your belly rise and fall against your legs. And then walk your fingertips over to the left side of your mat, maybe crossing the right hand on top of the left, stretching through the right side of your body. Next inhale, coming back to center. Taking an exhale here. Feeling your body soften toward your mat, feeling everything just kind of melt down as you soften into this space of self-care and self-love. And I think part of the self-care or self-love aspect is the discipline of showing up in this space. So you discipline yourself to show up to this space each day, but then once you're there, be super gentle with yourself, be super compassionate and caring, and maybe even humorous, you know, like you can invite a sense of joy and pleasure and lightheartedness into your practice if that's what feels appropriate for the day. Awesome. So go ahead and draw yourself up to a tabletop position from here, hands and knees. We stack the hips over the knees and the hands or the shoulders over the wrists, and untuck the toes, spread the fingers wide. Make some circles in each direction, just kind of moving into the hips. Still moving slowly, switching direction. Nice. Find some stillness. Reach long through the crown of your head, long through your tailbone. Draw your navel toward your spine to engage your core. Bring the knees into touch, and as you inhale, extend your right leg out behind you. Point the toes as if you're reaching for the wall behind you. And then on your next inhale, kick your heel up, lift your gaze. As you exhale, round through your spine, bring your knee toward your nose. As you inhale, extend the leg, kick up the heel, look toward the sky. Exhale, round through, knee toward your nose. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, extend the leg, kick up the heel, look up, and exhale, round through. Awesome. Bring that knee back to the ground, circle out the hips, and then take it to the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg up. The toes reach back. Stay here for an exhale, kind of get settled in, relax through your shoulders. And then inhale, kick the heel, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through your spine, knee toward the nose. Twice more using your breath. We're kind of opening the front and back of the body and also flexing the front and the back of the body. So bring that left knee back to the mat. Go ahead and walk your hands forward, keeping your knees where they're at. As you exhale, lower slowly down, keeping your elbows tucked in towards your sides. Come all the way to your belly. With your hands underneath your shoulders, inhale, lift your gaze. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Stay here for an exhale. Zip your legs up. You're kind of activating through the back body, activating through the legs. Keep breathing. Maybe with each breath in, you lift a little bit higher. Maybe you hover the feet. Maybe you hover the hands. Beautiful. One more big breath in, a little lift. And exhale, come back down. Nice. As you inhale, press up through your modified plank. Bring your knees forward for tabletop. And we'll tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. So straightening your legs very last. We want to get our hips as high as we can before we straighten our legs. So once your arms are straight, your chest is pressed toward your knees, and your hips are high, go ahead and straighten out a little bit more through your legs. Let your heels drop down toward the ground. Maybe hear some pops and crackles here. And then we'll just pedal out the feet. So bending into one knee and then the other, letting your hips sway from side to side. So wagging our tails here in downward facing dog. If you find that your hands are slipping, just press down through your first knuckles, through your fingertips, and especially through the first thumb, the first finger and the thumb. Awesome. All right, so we've pedaled out our feet. On your inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Then step or hop, make your way somehow to the front of your mat. You can start out with your feet as wide as your hips, or you can bring them so that the big toes are touching. There's a little space between the heels. Whatever you choose. From here, we'll inhale to lift up halfway. Draw your shoulders down your back, and exhale, fold, bend into your knees. So bent knees are our friend in our forward fold. Go ahead and inhale to lift up halfway, drawing shoulder blades together and down the back, hands to your shins or thighs. Exhale, fold. Once more, inhaling to lift, scoop the heart up. Reach long through the crown of your head, long through your tailbone. And exhale, fold. Super nice. All right, on your next inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms up, sink the hips low, bend into your knees, come into chair pose. Chair pose is a fun one to kind of wake up the body, wake up the mind. You've gotta have some focus, some concentration, a little willpower here. But it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. So maybe your chair pose is up here, and that's fine too. You just want to check down to make sure that you can see your toes in front of your knees. And if the arms up over your head is too much, you're welcome to bring your hands to your heart, prayer hands. Awesome. So activate those glutes, activate the quads, tuck your tailbone toward the ground. So if you find you have a sway in your back, just draw the tailbone down. Draw the navel toward the spine and keep breathing. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, fold forward. Release your hands down. Let's take a little ragdoll. So with the holding opposite elbows, just take a gentle sway from side to side. So now release your hands down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up. Take your arms out wide, sunshine arms. And exhale your hands to your heart. Close down your eyes. Take a breath here to relax your shoulders, relax the muscles in your face. All right, inhale, take the arms up, gaze up. And as you exhale, take your right hand back, your left hand forward. Twist to the right. So the thing here to pay attention to is to keep your hips square to the front of the mat. So we're twisting through our spine. Taking your gaze maybe over the back hand. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I know it can be tough sometimes in twists to get a full breath. So let that be your guide, your gauge of how deep you should go into a twist. One more breath. On your next inhale, we'll take the arms back overhead, gaze up, and exhale, twist to your left. Reaching the right fingertips forward, reaching the left fingertips back, squaring the hips to the front of the mat. Maybe taking your gaze over your back hand. With your exhale, relaxing your shoulders down. With your inhale, reaching your fingertips a little bit further. One more round of breath. And inhale, comes back. Center, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, cactus your arms. So we're opening our arms, we're opening our shoulders, pulling the elbows down and back. Opening through the heart space, gently pressing the hips forward to protect our low back. Just a little baby back bend. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, cactus your arms again. One more time, inhale to reach. All the way up. And exhale, really open the shoulders, draw the elbows down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, take your arms out wide, hinge at your hips, one dive, fold forward. Nice. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, take your hands to your heart. So from here, we're going to want to walk the feet in. If they're not already touching, bring the big toes to touch. Little space between your heels. And let's get accustomed to our feet catching our weight. So go ahead and lift your toes, kind of wiggle your toes a little bit, and then place them back down on the mat. I like to spread my toes before I put them down, so they're kind of like a little extra, I don't know, just give them a little extra stretch. And go ahead and begin to shift your weight from side to side, backward and forward, maybe in circles. Just kind of getting accustomed to the four corners of your feet catching your weight as you move. So they're always doing that anyway, because we're walking and standing and just in general being a human being. But right now we're bringing some awareness to that so that we can utilize it in our practice. All right, awesome. So let's take the weight over to the left foot. I like to think of stamping my foot down into my mat. And from here, beginning to lift my right toes off of the mat. So maybe the right toes just come barely off of the mat. Maybe they're hardly hovering over the ground, or maybe you bring your knee up so that it's in line with your hip. The ankle is just below the knee. If you want to take your arms up, you're welcome to do that. Or maybe you want to have your hands out to the side for a little extra help with balance. So just find whatever posture or variation works for you. Stand really tall through the crown of your head. Draw your left hip in. Take a breath. Awesome. All right, one more round of breath. Bring that foot back to the ground. You can shake out your feet or legs. And then prepare to go to the other side. So we're shifting our weight over into our right foot, getting accustomed to the right foot carrying our weight, balancing us. And then beginning to take the left toes off of the ground, again, to whatever degree is working for you. Maybe you want to stand next to a wall or a chair, just something to hold on to. And then begin to check in, once you found your balance, begin to check in with the more subtle attributes of this posture. So maybe you relax your shoulders down, maybe you soften through your face, or your brow, just like release the muscles in your brow. Drawing your navel toward your spine. One more round of breath. Super nice. All right, and then bring that foot back to the ground. So part of our self-care practice is the ability to discipline ourselves and to build concentration and discipline and focus, so that when it really comes down to it, and we do have to do that inner work, we have the mental wherewithal to stick with it and to stick with the tough things that come up and that arise during our practice or arise in situations when we're interacting with other people. So taking this time to concentrate our focus or to balance and kind of like train ourselves to be in these uncomfortable positions and to be still in them is really valuable. It's part of the reason that I love yoga, because you have to get on my mat and practice my approach to life, really. All right, so from here, we're going to inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down through your heart center. Inhale, take the arms up again. Exhale, hands wide, hinge at your hips, flat back, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. And then from here, plant your palms on the ground with as much of a bend in your knees as you want, and step your right foot back. So you might need to adjust your stance a little bit. We're going to take that right leg back, lower the knee, and untuck the toes. The front leg, we want the knee to be stuck directly over the ankle. And then go ahead and rise up so that you can bring your hands to your hips or your hands to your knees or arms overhead. And if you find yourself kind of wavering here, you're welcome to take your feet out a little bit wider for better balance. From here, we just allow our hips to, allow gravity to do the work, really. Let your hips sink a little bit lower. Staying mindful of the front knee, not overextending. And if this is too much and you want to keep your hands on the ground, you're totally welcome to do that as well. You can relax through the back of your neck. Nice. Okay, from here we're going to send the hips back. And we're going to make the front leg a little more straight. So maybe not totally straight. You're welcome to have a bend in it. Coming in for half splits. So bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to rise up. And then as you exhale, fold forward with a flat back until you find your edge. So your edge is like that place where it's not painful. You're meeting maybe 50% resistance in your stretch, and that's where you want to pause. So we work through resistance one layer at a time. We work through healing one layer at a time. As much as we would all love immediate results, sometimes it just doesn't happen like that. We learn to be patient. We learn to be still as we do the work. So once you find your edge, go ahead and settle in with your breath. You can relax through the back of your neck. And pull your left hip back so that it's coming along in line with your right hip. Maybe it's already there. Big breaths in and out through your nostrils. And check in with your thoughts. Notice where they're going as we stay in some of these postures a little bit longer. Notice if they get distracted from your breath or your intention or the sensations that you're feeling in your body. Because that's kind of like our guidebook, our physical sensations. They can tell us so much. So give yourself one more good round of breath here. Deep in through the nose and out through the nose. Awesome. That's wonderful. All right, walk your hands forward. Take your left knee back. So we're in tabletop again. And then circle it out. Moving in both directions. Tuck your toes. And again, finding downward facing dog, sending the hips up and back. This time we're going to skip the tail wagging. We're going to inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Make your way to the front of the mat. Beautiful. On an inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, arms overhead, gaze up. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Soften your shoulders. Inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Awesome. From here, plant your palms. Go ahead and step your left foot back. Lower the back knee. Untuck the toes. Bring your right knee over your right ankle. And then again, if you want to stay here with your hands on the ground, you're welcome to do that. If you want to bring your hands to your knee or hands to your hip, you're welcome to do those. Pick those options, whatever feels right for you. And then from there, really just settling in with your breath, releasing any resistance to this stretch. So if you become aware that there are muscles activating to hold you up, just give those muscles permission to release. They don't need to be holding you up right now. You're letting gravity just kind of pull you down into this stretch. And don't worry about what this looks like. So if you're looking at yourself in a mirror or in your screen, you're like, oh, that's not what, I've seen other people look like in this posture, just like let go of that thought. Focus in on the sensations. It's okay if it's uncomfortable, that's good. If it's painful, you might want to back out of it a little bit. You can always bring like a blanket under your back knee. I know this is a lot of time spent on one knee. You can bring a blanket under your back knee, or you can double your mat over for a little extra padding. So we do what we can to make the work as comfortable as possible, but we still have to do it. We want to keep growing and healing. So give yourself a couple more rounds of breath here. Whatever variation suits you. Great, and then as you're ready, we'll begin to straighten through the front leg. So we're kind of leading with that right hip, leading back with the right hip. Beginning to come towards straight in the front leg. Bringing our hands to our hips, we'll inhale to rise up, find some length through our spine, through the crown of the head, and then exhale with a flat back, fold forward over that front leg. And if your hands aren't coming to the ground here, you can grab like a water bottle or a book or something to kind of like lift the ground up to you. I have these blocks here that I use sometimes. Just whatever you need to do to make this accessible. And then relax through the back of your neck. We'll be here for a few rounds of breath. So go ahead and settle in with your breath, with your intention. Back to that. And I like to think of this time as like, there's a bike that I saw one time at a barter fair that I went to, and like you sit on the bike and you pedal it, and it has a smoothie, like a blender attached to it. So like as you're pedaling the bike, you're also making a smoothie. And so I like to think of our practice as kind of a generator for our intention. So let's say that our intention is like the ingredients that we're putting in the smoothie, and then we do the work, and we just nurture and cultivate that intention and grow it into something that benefits our lives, something that nourishes us, something that helps us grow in the direction that we want to grow. We're just little energy generators. Not just, that's a really powerful thing. There's no just about it. We are energy generators. Whatever we're focusing on as we are in this intentional space is what we are growing, what we are manifesting or creating or releasing. So one more round of breath here. Nice and deep, in through the nose, all the way into the low belly. And then walk the hands forward and tuck that knee back behind you. Super good. All right, let's come through to a seated position. So you can sit, they call this crisscross applesauce, I think is the phrase for it. Crisscross yoga sauce, I've heard. If this is comfortable for you. If it's not, you're welcome to sit in any other way that is comfortable. Maybe you'd like to bring a blanket or a pillow underneath you to just kind of like elevate your hips. Wherever you are, take a minute to get settled in here. I'm just going to do some gentle side stretches and twists. All right, so let's begin by, I'm going to take a sip of water. Go ahead and bring your fingers together. So we're interlacing the fingers in front of us. And then flip your palms so that they're facing out away from you. Bring your arms as straight as you comfortably can. I know this might be a bit intense if you haven't been doing this much. We want to kind of push our palms out away from us. So on your inhale, we're going to take the arms up, take the gaze up, kind of bend back a little bit, or just go as far as you can. And then as you exhale, round through your spine, push your palms out and forward. So I'm going to turn sideways in case you want to see side view, kind of get a better idea of what's going on. So we're working with the spine here, warming up the spine. We inhale to bend backward and exhale to round through our spine, kind of pushing out between that, through that space between the shoulder blades. And then inhale, take the arms up, gaze up, open the chest and heart. Exhale, round through the spine. Do this about 5 more times. And on this last one, see if you can open up just a little bit more. Maybe inhale, take the arms a bit further back. And as you exhale, really round through your spine, push those palms out. And release the hands at the bottom. Awesome. Roll out the wrists, and it's a lot on the wrists. So roll them out. Wiggle your fingers, get a little movement there. Okay. Groovy. All right, so from here, we're going to bring the hands to the knees. And finding a flow with your breath, we're going to take the chest kind of forward, around, and back. And again, rounding through our spine. You're reaching the chest forward, taking it to the side, exhaling as we, well, using your breath, we round through our spine and then off to the other side. So do that about 3 times in each direction. Some gentle movement through the spine. So this practice, this daily practice, doesn't have to be like some intense hour-long yoga practice. It can be, you know, sometimes for me it looks like 10 minutes of child's pose because I just don't have it in me to actually get up and do a flow, and that's okay because that's my nurturing space. And some days it is, you know, an hour of journaling, or maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's reading a book or taking a walk in nature. So this self-care space will look different from day to day. It may look different from day to day. And really, I just want to invite you to open the space for whatever you need that day. All right, go ahead and bring your left hand to the floor next to you with your fingers pointing away from you. Plant your palm right next to your hip. And then take your right arm up and over. The palm faces down. And we kind of pull the thumb toward the back wall to open through the front of our body. Take a big breath in as you reach long through your fingertips. And as you exhale, soften through your shoulders. Soften through your whole body. One more round of breath. As you inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, plant your right hand. Fingers point away from you. Reach up and over with the left. Again, pulling that thumb back. Pulling the left thumb back to open up your heart. Breathing in deep through your nose. Dropping that right shoulder away from your ear. One more breath. Inhale back to center. Beautiful. Let's take a couple of breaths here to circle out the neck. Let's find some gentle release there. And if you find any areas that are super tight or sore or tense, hang out there for a couple rounds of breath or until you feel ready to move forward. Super nice. All right, let's come back to a neutral spine. Inhale, take your arms up over your head. As you exhale, we twist to the right. So the left hand crosses over to your right knee. The right hand comes behind you. I'm going to turn side face again. Right hand comes behind you. So we're sitting nice and tall through the spine. The back hand is serving as like a second spine almost, helping us to sit up straight, giving us some extra support. And then we're using that left hand on the knee to pull ourselves just a bit deeper into the stretch. Again, you have the option of just turning your gaze to the right or taking it over your shoulder. Deep breath, sitting up tall. Pretending that you're wearing a crown, like the royalty that you are. Great. One more round of breath, really settling the shoulders. We're finding a sense of ease in our discipline. Inhale, come back to center. Take the arms up overhead. Exhale takes us to the left side. Right arm crosses over, holds the knee. Left hand expands behind us to support a tall, straight spine. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Last round of breath. Come back to center. Super nice. All right. We are going to bring the knees up, soles of the feet to your mat. My incense stick is almost done burning, so we must be coming down the home stretch of this hour. Go ahead and bring your hands behind your knees and start to send your weight back. So we're leaning back a little bit, but we're staying nice and straight through our spine. Keeping our chest upright, and then beginning to take the toes off of the ground for boat pose. Maybe your toes just hover barely, or maybe they just kind of like ping pong off the ground. That's okay. If you really want to challenge yourself, bring a little core work into this. You can bring your shins parallel to the floor or straighten your legs. Also the option to take your arms out to the side or hands to heart center. So find your variation and find your breath. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Building strength here, cultivating that mental strength, physical strength, your warrior spirit. Strong deep breaths in and out of your nostrils. You've got this. 3 more. You want to challenge yourself for these last couple breaths by straightening the arms or lowering a little bit. You're welcome to do that. I can't talk with a steady voice and do ab workouts, so I won't be going lower. Awesome. Last breath. And as you exhale, lower yourself slowly down to the ground. Nice. All right, so once we're on our backs, I invite you to adjust as you need to. If you need a sip of water or whatever, you're welcome to do that. If you want your blanket close by for when we come into Shavasana or our final resting posture, go ahead and grab that. And then from here, just hug your knees in towards your chest. So we're keeping the ankles uncrossed. Maybe you interlace the fingers around the knees and just take a gentle rock from side to side. Awesome. Super nice. Okay, and then from here, we're going to hug the right knee in, extend your left leg long on the mat, flex the left toes. Awesome. Take the sole of the right foot to the sky, and then you can hold either behind the knee or maybe on the ankle, maybe the outside of the foot. Just taking a half happy baby. So wherever your grasp lands, you just want to make sure that your shoulders are staying on the ground. And then kind of pull that knee out to the side, open the hips, open the leg, find a little stretch here. Keeping the left toes flexed, staying mindful that that left hip is on the ground. Awesome. Okay, and then go ahead and release the right foot, wherever your hold was there. We're going to take our left hand on the outside of your right leg and cross it over your body. So we're taking another twist. Extend your right arm out to the side. So it's like a little half T. And turn your gaze over your right fingertips. And we'll just be here for a couple of breaths. You can let that left leg relax now. Maybe smile. Because life really is beautiful despite the hardships. And I mean, because of the hardships and the pain and the challenges, that's what allows us to really embrace the beauty and the joy all around us when we do experience it. And come back to center, hug both knees in. Take a rock. And then extend the right leg on the mat. Keep that left knee hugged in. Flex your right toes. And then take the sole of the left foot up. Find your grip. Opening the hips, opening that leg out to the side. Maybe bringing your right hand to your right hip. A little extra, little added grounding measure. Big breath in all the way to your low belly. Repeat your intention to yourself. Nice. All right. One more breath here. And then we're going to cross the left leg. Release it from your left hand. Cross it over your body. turn your gaze over to the left, over your left fingertips. Find your twist. Awesome. Find a nice deep breath cycle here for about 3 more rounds of breath. Releasing through your low back, through your shoulders, through your entire spine. So anytime that we're in a twist, it's detoxing for our bodies. It's like bringing out the washcloth of our bodies. It's a really good opportunity to let go of anything that is no longer serving you in thoughts, words, or actions. And then come back to center, hug both knees in. And then we're going to take the soles of the feet to the sky and kind of bring the hands behind the legs. You're welcome to bend your knees here. You draw your knees toward your face, or your legs toward your face. So just kind of doing a little hamstring stretch. From here, go ahead and lower your legs all the way down to the ground. You can do this slowly or you can do it fast. You can bring your hands by your sides. Just coming to lie on your back, legs extended. You also have the option to bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide, and then hands can either come by your sides or one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Nice. Okay, so once you have found your position for our final Shavasana, our final resting posture, I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable. If you want a blanket or a sweater, go ahead and grab that. And just close down your eyes. Let your breath become soft and natural. And bring to mind the question, how am I giving to myself? To my mind, to my home, to my body. How am I nurturing myself, my space, my energy? And just let that be a question that guides you in your actions and your thoughts, hopefully as you move throughout the day and throughout your weekend. Because you deserve so much goodness, and who better to give that to you than yourself? Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Let your feet relax out to the sides. Feel your whole body held and supported here by the mat beneath you and the community around you. You are so loved, so protected, so honored. Gently run your fingers and thumbs together. Wiggle your toes. And some gentle movement in your body. You're welcome to stay right here in this position as long as you'd like to. And thank you so much for being here today, for being willing to open your heart and to find this place of healing to share in our collective efforts and intentions. I hope that you feel yourself surrounded with a sense of peace and harmony.
Greta, thank you so much. This was just incredible. I was making notes also just near the end here of all the tools that you offered up during your session. So can you hear me okay? Okay. So the visual setup, I think, for letting, showing people how to create a space um, for their healing practice was amazing. The reminder to hydrate, and then things that I can call back. I know it's so good to remember that you can stop during your practice and remember to hydrate. We've got some beautiful comments coming in. Tavy says thank you. Nicole says that was beautiful, and I wholeheartedly agree. So thank you for the reminder that sometimes we show up to the mat or even to any physical practice and we don't feel 100%, and that it's okay to just show up where we are, but to show up. And thank you for the reminder of having a list of self-care tools to pull from. You gave us some really great suggestions, and I'm excited to be able to go back and actually listen again and make a note of those things that can be added to my own private practice. So I really, really appreciate that. And that really was our intention for the day, our source's intention for today, as we go in and we have this restorative time of introspection, to be able to have these tools that provide us, ex- just ways to evolve in our own private practice. So I am so grateful to you. I do want to thank Nicole for hosting this event at the Essential www.theessentialnicole.com. And I want to thank Jacqueline for hosting the live portions of our virtual events at A Spiritual Touch Healing Boutique in Spokane Valley, Washington. So, and of course, I want to thank Source for supporting the creation of this event. And Greta, I want to thank you again so much for being here and opening us up for today. And we're just so grateful for you. And thank you so much.
Ladies, I appreciate your work. Have an awesome day.
You have an awesome day too. Thank you.